What's up, happy campers? This is Lake Colorado City State Park. So I'm in the day use area right now. There is a lot of covered picnic areas. There's a group picnic pavilion with a barbecue, a half-court basketball, outdoor of course, and then there is a jungle gym and swing set right there, restrooms. There's a swimming area. They've even got the life preserver thingy in the red, round, yeah. And then there's a boat ramp, and there's a lot of parking for your boat trailers. And it's late April. This is the last weekend in April. And there's no one here. I'm a little confused, and quite honestly, I'm a little concerned. So the weather right now at this time of year, yesterday when we arrived, it hit like a high of 96, which is pretty warm. Interesting of note, the humidity was 5%. 5%. Coming from the San Antonio area and down that way towards the Gulf, where humidity is a real problem for, well, at least for me, being that dry was very different. My understanding is this western side of Texas is a drier climate. The evening got down into the 60s. It's the morning right now. It's windy and like 60, that might be like 71 now, but it feels very chilly and cool. I'm just not really sure what's going on as to why this day use area is empty. I'm concerned. I would think that there would be at least 5 fishermen out here in boats right now, out fishing, but there's nobody. What's going on, Lake Colorado City State Park? So this park as a whole is not empty. There are 3 camping loops, 2 with electric and 1 without electric. There was at least 1 person in the no electric spot, but that was was it 96? I'll show you an image here or a video. The view from site 96 is amazing. It's worth trying to put up with no electricity for a day or two. You'll love it. The electric loops, there are people there. I'd say there's maybe about 30 RVs here and just a few tent campers, not too many. So it's not a completely empty park. People are taking advantage of it. Here you can see the basketball hoop. The rim looks pretty good, but needs a net. They have a barbecue pit. Almost every one of these day use covered picnic tables has a stand-up barbecue pit. One of my concerns here is the maintenance of the park. I don't think there's a lot of staff here, and I can actually see, you can see over here we've got some covered picnic areas that the tables are gone and they're just not mowing over there. And then on top of that, look in the parking lot here where we've got a lot of growth coming through the cracks. I see a lot of that, especially the camping loop where there's no electricity. It's as if they're just like, well, nobody's coming here, so we're not going to put as much effort into maintaining the park anymore. And that's got me concerned. Is this an issue where not enough people are coming here, so they just don't have the funds to take care of this stuff? I don't know. I would hate to see another state park get shut down. I'm literally standing in the middle of the road right now and don't care. Do you know why? Because no one's coming. Of course, right after I say no one's coming, Texas Park Ranger pulls into the area. That's all right. I ain't doing nothing wrong. A lot of holes like this. A lot of critters. We've seen a lot of rabbits, seen a couple of deer. So all of the covered picnic areas, even at the campsites, have this metal type structure like this with a decent picnic table. Pretty much stand-up barbecue pits everywhere. Can't use them right now though. I'm sure that 5% humidity doesn't have anything to do with that. See, look at this. Holes everywhere. Big covered pavilion. This is pretty nice. We got 10 picnic tables right here. There's a water spigot there in the middle. This decent sized smoker. We've seen some bigger smokers in our day, but it's not bad. Looks like somebody just lit the whole bag of charcoal on fire right there. Basketball hoop right by the covered group pavilion. I pretty much had to shelter in the truck because the wind just got nuts. But the cool thing was I got a moment to talk with the park ranger that was coming through, the only other person in this area at this time. And I asked him about what's going on with this park. Where is everybody? So basically in this area, wind is very common in the mornings. And the people that have boats and go fishing are aware of that. And they will watch the weather reports for the wind speeds. If the wind is real strong, then the water's going to be real choppy, and then it's not that safe to be out there in the boat. Hey, that makes sense. I didn't know this kind of stuff, and that's why my assumptions were way off. The park ranger also told me some very interesting information about what's happened with this park. He said 20 years ago, this park used to see 500,000 people annually come through here, stay here, come out and enjoy the day use area. And now, last year, he said they had 30,000. So that's a huge drop. He said it has a lot to do with the water levels of the lake. The lake is fairly decent right now. It could obviously be a little better. What lake couldn't be a little better? But it had been a lot lower to the point where it was like a little pond. And they asked the local newspaper to run a story letting everyone know that just the boat ramp is closed. The newspaper didn't run that story like they asked them to. Instead of publishing a story that said boat ramp closed, they ran a story that said Lake Colorado City State Park closed. And ever since then, the park has struggled with attendance. Thanks, newspaper. And on that note, the next time you ask, hey, where could I go camping this weekend? I don't have any reservations. Maybe the best response is Lake Colorado City State Park. So our feelings are, one of the best campsites that's here is Site 96. You've got the fishing pier right here, and right next to it is this one right here. It's a water-only campsite, no electricity, but the view is phenomenal. There was a couple that was staying here in an RV last night. It was 96 degrees yesterday. Haha, Site 96. And they were concerned that it was going to be too hot because they couldn't run their air conditioner. However, with the dry air and it cooled off so quickly, it made it quite comfortable for sleeping even without air conditioning last night. Definitely worth this view. Now for a big RV like ours, which is 41 feet, this might be a bit of a stretch to get in there. I could probably pull it off. I'd be nervous though. Obviously not the most level either, but then you come out here and this is your campsite. You got an on-the-ground fire ring, a double covered picnic table. I am so sorry if y'all can't hear me. I might have to re-record my audio. This might go down in my books as one of the most epic campsites I've ever seen. These rocks wouldn't be too terribly hard to scale down to. We've got several different ways to crawl down here, and then if somebody wanted to get in the water, I don't know how I'd feel about swimming with these tree brush type things, but it seems doable. There's no signs that say no swimming. You can obviously tell by this loose dirt right here on top of these rocks, the water has come all the way up here. Ah, this wind. So right here is a post. It has 2 bolts. I think at one point it had either had a hook, because most of these campsites in the water only have one single hook. Or was it a sign that said no swimming? Or was it a sign that says it's too windy, stop recording while you're talking? So let's take a look at Site 97. One of the things I love here is that they're actually utilizing the A and the R properly. So we've got a lot of available spots and they are marked as available. Thank y'all, park staff. Pretty typical spot right here. I definitely would not put a 41-foot RV there, but our old Avenger 26-foot travel trailer would have fit just fine. One single picnic table, on the ground fire ring. Someone has prepared you in Site 97 for a fire when you can have it again. You've got your water hookup right there, and then your single hook. In fact, in this shot, you can see a single hook here and a single hook there at the next campsite. Still though, there was no 2 bolts. So whatever's going on at that other Site 96, I think it was a sign that says no swimming. Will we ever know? Leave a comment in the comment section down below if you know the answer. Mesquite trees. They may seem pretty and cute. They may even make for good barbecue, but when you look down here, look at that thorn. These guys are jerks. Little mesquite shrubs actually have thorns that big that can puncture your tires. That's why ranchers typically won't just go driving through the land when there's a bunch of mesquite brush. Down at the end of the mesquite camping circle, there used to be a little fishing pier that was covered. I've even seen in videos from 2020 that it was still here but closed. Now not only is it closed, it is gone. In fact, looking at these mesquite trees, now I'm wondering, do I even want to go for a hike? Giant thorns just blowing around on both sides of the trail. So here we are in campsite 37, which was a pull-through site. I really wanted to make sure that I had plenty of clearance. This was our first time going back to a state park with our new fifth wheel open range 41-foot trailer. It is the first time I've been in a site that was so unlevel that I had to actually get out the Anderson leveling blocks, which are under the tires there. But thankfully I had that stuff and I could get it nice and level. Had no issues getting such a big RV into this pull-through site. But let's take a look across the street here at an open available one. Now this one is obviously not as long. And when you do your reservations on Texas State Parks Reserve America website, they have the actual length of each site listed. So go through those. They've got photographs you can look at. They've got the links so you can make sure that you're getting the right one that will fit. Because as you can see over there, 41-foot trailer plus long F-250 equals plenty of space. I wouldn't have fit here in site 38. Single water spigot, 30, 50, and 20 amp. This one's got a single hook, covered picnic table, on the ground fire ring. Unfortunately, it's so dry right now, they're not even allowing charcoal fires. A lot of cactus in this park. And this one here is a back-in spot right next to it, which this would be great. I mean, if you're a couple of different families that want to camp together, getting yourself grouped in like this would be excellent. A lot of open space to play. Let the kids run around. That's site 39. So 39 and 38 would make a great two sites to group together. This here is a pull-through site with 50 amp that is, it's partially blocked view of the water. A little bit more peaceful. That's one of the benefits of having the brush and trees is blocking the wind. But you can see some water through there. You can sit here and enjoy your campsite and get a little wind. And that is campsite number 41. Like I said, that's a pull-through. I could probably squeeze the 41-foot trailer through here. So one of the issues that I had with parking on this side is the access to the bathrooms and showers is on the other side of this long oval-shaped loop. After dark last night, we were trying to find a pass-through, and we did actually find a pass-through straight to the bathroom in site 42. Thankfully it's available and there was nobody there. So if you're on this side, you can walk through site 42, and just past the fire ring is a nice path that goes right past the cactus. Just got a tree to my hair. And then there's the bathrooms and showers right there. You know, my advice, if I were going to make changes around here, if this park's not always being used, maybe change 42 into a site that's just specifically for people on this side to pass through to the bathrooms and showers so they don't have to start their engines and drive around. So here's our campsite number 37. I liked it for its length. I also liked it for the shade trees that we have here. This mesquite is pretty nice. Got the shade over the picnic table. We do have a single hook and of course the on the ground fire ring back here. A lot of cactus. Whatever critter crawls down that hole. I think they have like a groundhog or a gopher out here. But doesn't that mesquite tree just, they have such a nice presence. Even if they are jerks with those giant thorns. And I was able to get this awning all the way out last night, which gave us some extra light. I didn't try this awning though. Wasn't sure what my clearance would be, but I think that would be okay. My only concern might be that branch right there. What, that hole? What lives in that hole? Oh no, that branch isn't a concern. I could take that out, no problem. So if you're in this camping loop and you want to go over to the Mesquite Loop, which has a playground, there is a pass between trail right there on site 36. that's kind of close to Site 36. I mean, I wouldn't want to just kind of walk into their campsite so I could pass through. I'm not really sure who's planning, or if there is any planning. Maybe all these little trails are just something that the campers have trotted through the grass. Classic example of how we roll. It always seems to be raining or cold on travel days. 60% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow in the area. Maybe the afternoon. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that Blackstone away right now. I don't even wanna give it the chance that, you know, I have to move stuff tomorrow. Now Tanya's got some art set up. She was working on art today, doing some resin pours. We can't move it yet because it hasn't dried enough. So that resin could slosh around and ruin her art, and we don't want that to happen. But that's fine. Do as much as you can when you can. And tomorrow, hopefully, that'll be one of the only things we have to do to get out of here. I like to use a table or something like that, or so that I could take the Blackstone down. And I was using the picnic table, but since she's got her stuff up there, she don't want it wiggling. What I did was I moved the truck over here so I can use the tailgate to kind of take apart the Blackstone and fold up the legs and everything. Makes it easier. Putting stuff on the ground and bending down and working on it, for me, is hard on my back. So I'd rather raise things up to make it a little easier on myself. Tailgate's always a great mobile workbench. I like to put the bikes away too, but at the same time I don't want to discourage the girls from riding. I don't know, I'll check with them. So I met somebody else here at this park today that told me another bit of detail about why this park isn't as busy as it used to be. So there's a power plant on the other side of the lake that used to depend on this water. Because of that, they would truck water in, or whatever method necessary, to artificially fill the lake up to a max capacity so that power plant could use that water to get out the electricity for the area. Something's changed and they don't need that water anymore. So since they're not paying for the water, the lake isn't hitting the max capacity like it used to, meaning that this park's not as busy as it was. So when you take a look at the bathrooms in this park, they've got no locks on the stall doors for the sit-down toilets. I don't like that. There are shower curtains for the showers. I felt like the way that the shower curtains and everything were set up, it was enough. That worked. The showers were decent. I think they have like a groundhog or a gopher out here. But doesn't that mesquite tree just... They have such a nice presence, even if they are jerks with those giant thorns. And I was able to get this awning all the way out last night, which gave us some extra light. I didn't try this awning though. Wasn't sure what my clearance would be, but I think that would be okay. My only concern might be that branch right there. What, that hole? What lives in that hole? Oh no, that branch isn't a concern. I could take that out, no problem. So if you're in this camping loop and you want to go over to the Mesquite Loop, which has a playground, there is a pass between. They got several sinks. There's one plug-in if you need to plug in a trimmer or beard trimmer or whatever you need power for at the sink in the bathroom. There was hand soap, like one thing of hand soap. It looked like it might have had some ventilation for heat or air. I'm not really sure. The air's really dry up here. It was cool last night for the shower. It was decent. This park may have had kayak rentals at one point. They don't right now, but the kayak launch area is great if you've got your own stuff. The inflatables, the way that the water's situated right now with the shrubs and trees that poke up out, might be a bit iffy. Like if you're paying attention to where you're going, an inflatable probably would do fine. But if you've got a hard shell kayak or canoe, all those will do great. If you've got a motorboat, the ramp is open right now. I mean, the water level is not as high as it could be, but it's decent. There's definitely water here. We saw a couple of deer and we have seen so many bunny rabbits. Kaylin thought she saw a mouse, which there is talk about the special breed of mouse that is in this area, and I saw a black widow. When I announced that, Kaylin's like, that's it, I'm never coming outside again. It was down in one of these little holes. It looked like the mice might dig these holes, but then it kind of like, the black widow's like, yeah, I'm taking over here. So it's our last evening here, and somebody did pull into Site 42, blocking off my walking access to the bathroom. So when I go take a shower tonight, I guess I'm probably gonna drive. It's a pretty far walk when you're, you know, dressed for bed. One of the things we love when we go camping is bacon and eggs. Cooking bacon inside of an RV. If you're new to this, that is one of your first and easiest ways to set off your smoke detector and test out its sound. So whatever you can do to cook bacon outdoors, I recommend it. We leave tomorrow. I think checkout is probably noon. Can't do a campfire. Probably go hang out inside. The stars are beautiful out here at night, so may come out for like one last little stroll under the stars before we go to bed. Camera's brightening it up. It's actually much darker than what you're seeing right now. I guess I could have left the chairs out for a little bit more stargazing tonight, but overall, Lake Colorado City State Park, we really like this park. We think that you would like this park too. There's no CCC buildings here, not a super amount of amenities, but it's peaceful and quiet, and there is enough. You can go swimming if you want to. You can go boating if you want to. You bring your kayak, you can go kayaking. Just 2 hiking trails, but they're pretty awesome trails. We enjoyed what hiking we did. Hey, check out our hiking. Well, we appreciate you watching our video on Lake Colorado City State Park. We hope to see you again on our next video. Check out some of our other videos. We've done quite a few state parks already. And we'd be happy if you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up so more people can see this video. And we hope to see you next time. Happy camping, y'all.